nowadays, man, you know, when I go back to work.
Moon Club Podcast number 203, YouTube version. Podcast will actually go live, Facebook Live in about 5 minutes.
Facebook Live for that face, bitches.
So, Steve, you got anything to talk about tonight?
No, I got tons of shit.
You got tons of shit? Are you just going to roll with it, or you want to give MJ some,
There's nothing really to look up, and if so, we can do it on the fly. I mean, like I said, a couple of things. And, you know, did you see what Snoop posted? I sent you that, guys, right?
Which one?
What Snoop posted on his page?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tread lightly with what I say and stuff. So,
right, yeah, we don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
Might lose a sponsor.
But he did a parody of the Brady Bunch.
We did?
Snoop Dogg.
You sent that video where that guy was saying Snoop Dogg was irrelevant or whatever?
Yeah, that was the same thing, I think.
How was Snoop Dogg irrelevant?
He was just going off on it.
Well, it was his relevancy as far as like music, he hasn't really done nothing for a while.
Well, I'm just talking about as a pop icon.
Yeah, I think he's a cultural star, but wasn't they accusing him of race baiting?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that picture was him with Trump. It was before he became president. Snoop Dogg was right there with Donald Trump, wanting to be like him, wanting to be associated with him.
45 seconds.
Dude, I remember when Trump was cool.
president.
Like
Trump's, I mean, he's still the same guy.
Well, I'm talking about like in the mid '90s.
I mean, I think people have always hated him and people have always liked him.
I don't know. I just remember, seeing this younger man. My mom would, she'd be like, "Hey, check out this guy, Donald Trump." I didn't know who the fuck he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was a millionaire back then.
A billionaire.
Was he back then?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe not.
There was always speculation of his wealth anyhow. Right?
There was some comedian that was like, "Look how Trump made it, man. He started off with what, 1 million? But,
yeah, exactly.
He came from nowhere."
You know,
for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. 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 Go and tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee, who spoke to me in a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, "Jay, go do my will. Go and tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. You may throw your rock and hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go and tell that long-time liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Yo, you can never touch this, it's just too much substance. I broke through the chains of the way with the cufflinks. You can make a scene, but to me, it's nothing. You never match with a breakthrough in fashion. I'll re-stitch the fabric and bring it back surely. Seen you on the shore, you repping the wrong jersey. Nah, I mean, they on the wrong team. Paper chasers screaming out cream. Lord deliver us, you know I ain't giving up. They just wanna live it up on scratch offs and 50 bucks. Praise to the silly luck, I gotta keep it 100. Run it, clean how I done it, get it. I operate like City Hall, gotta put my city on. Didn't fit the you clicking on. Watch what you slipping on, girl, what you sipping on, dog, what you barking about. I'd rather be penniless, making plenty sense. You living in a glass house, I rent solo. I do it on my own, no YOLO. I never get it cut, Kodo, for sure though. Pardon me, my God, I'm calling on them all. Can't stall, I gotta tell them all. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. 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 Don't tell that long-tongue liar. Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down.
Peace.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Lofty Dreams apartment, this is the Moon Club podcast with AJ, MJ, and SJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon. No subject will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington Normal's premier realtor for the do-at-home selling team of RE/MAX Rising. And I want to be your realtor, and I'll out-hustle everybody all day, every day, and then double up on Sunday to prove it.
Showing up. See if Austin can do this.
It is currently Tuesday, July 7th, 2020, 6:04 p.m.
That all checks out.
The moon comes up at 10:39 p.m. and it will go down at 8:55 a.m. tomorrow morning. It is currently waxing gibbous. It is 90% illuminated. Its distance is 395,555 kilometers away from us. Its age is 18 days old and it is in the sign of Aquarius. So I suggest you get your ass out there and check out that.
What percentage illuminated?
It is 90% right now.
Okay,
It's moving away. So
nearly full. What percent illuminated are you?
I'm fully illuminated.
Fully?
Fully illuminated. Was it me or did Austin miss one thing?
Yeah, he didn't say
good evening, you lovely lunatics.
Lofty Dreams.
Yeah, but we're never gonna. That's just a fantasy.
All right.
It is a fantasy.
Yeah.
Jamont. Nathaniel Stewart says, "What did I just walk into?" This is the Moon Club podcast.
It's called a train wreck. Welcome.
Yeah, it's a train wreck.
You can't stop watching.
It's our train wreck.
That's right. You can't stop watching.
No.
Please don't. We enjoy it.
What's up, Chad McWhorter Sr.? I didn't know he was Chad McWhorter Sr. I thought he was just Chad McWhorter.
That's Chad's dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, it's Chad's day.
I think that's how junior and senior work, right?
Yeah, and you want to know something
Oh,
as well
shit.
that actually checks out factually.
Yeah.
Yep.
And fact checkers are on duty, so
Yep.
we are right at par.
I got a call right before we went live from Standards and Practices, and yeah, we're good to go with that.
Right.
We're all right to say with that.
I was on the phone with the FCC before.
Oh, Jamont says he was waiting for someone to bust into a rap. Yeah, we used to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll work one up next week for you, Jamont. Okay, this is a video of people that are getting into it by not social distancing. And if you watch, I like the black guy in the mask. He's all cool, and he goes from like 0 to 100 and he just turns around and cracks his dude with a beer bottle over the head. So
Yeah, but we can't really hear exactly what's going on.
well, I can hear exactly what's going on. Is this white woman is causing all kinds of shit, and she causes a fight right here because she won't shut her mouth.
And I think
That's
her
what
boyfriend's the one that gets hit with the bottle.
happened. Yeah, of course.
Typical.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard.
There we go.
Dude, I think he's actually ordering a beer. Because he cracks a full bottle over the head. He's like, hey, can I get a beer? That's what's so cool about it.
with a Corona.
Dude, I would peace out. I don't care.
All right, so that's another example of people just being dumb. That didn't need to happen, right?
No.
So
she seemed like she was the main contributor to that situation.
I think the alcohol might have been a main contributor.
Right.
I think she was the main instigator.
That guy straight up walked up to the bar though and says, "Can I get a Dos Equis?"
Well,
and then grabs it and smashes it.
Here's the thing: you don't know what happened before that because somebody just started recording in the middle of it. But if you notice, none of the, I'll say, hillbillies were wearing masks, and I think the black woman, if you listen to her, is saying, "You just walk up and breathed on me."
Yeah.
And then the white women kept trying to like get at her, and like, what? Just walk away. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Because she's angry.
I can't let you have the last word.
Right.
Right.
And it's hard to drink a beer with a face mask on. I know that for sure.
Yeah, but you could crack somebody over the head with one with a face mask.
Right.
Why don't we?
What's up, Brittany Hendricks?
Face mask with little Velcro closure.
Brittany asked, "Well, what video is that?" So I can look it up.
Or it could be the zipper one.
I just closed it. It's on Twitter. I don't know.
It's on Twitter. I think he says the name of it.
Who?
You said the name of it before you played it.
Yeah, no.
It's
It's just a video. It doesn't have a name.
Okay.
This is funny to me because this woman, again, I guess the common theme is white women doing crazy shit. She's trying to run up behind this horse with a cop on it and smack the horse in the ass, and it doesn't go very well for her.
It just kind of pushes her away with its foot. That's exactly what it did, dude. It didn't kick her, it just pushed her away.
Horse kicks only have one speed. They don't push you away, they kick the shit out of you.
It looks like she kind of liked it.
Well, the hoof has no give.
Right. And I don't know, I'm sure people at home can't really
And
see
you
that.
know what? I don't know if you know, but those horses got blinders on, so it just felt her back there.
So if you want to find this one, it's, because I'll say it before I close it, it's at Alex_Magni, ALEX_MAGNI_1101, and it's hashtag Horse Lives Matter. All right. So Brittany, if you want to find that one, there you go.
And that was like a little rap, naming that all out and then throwing out the horse lives matter and stuff. And I agree, horse lives do matter.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Horses have great sense.
Obviously.
What kind of world are we living in where you can't say all lives matter? And I get it. I get why it's like.
Because I think people are jaded to it.
Well, it's because people say it in response to Black Lives Matter. So this is like the black people saying, "Hey man, you've been like fucking killing us without recourse for all this lives. Hashtag Black Lives Matter," and people just throw it back. Hey, all lives matter.
And you know what? Especially the white lives matter, but you're creating that dichotomy of emotions.
Who said white lives matter?
No, I'm just saying it's like that's what a lot of people, a lot of rednecks. It's like.
I've never heard anybody say that.
What?
Who are we calling rednecks now?
People that say white lives matter.
I've never heard anybody say that.
Okay, so they went straight for all lives matter.
You want to know what the biggest difference is?
Dude, I wasn't saying it, and I never would, but.
Well, and that's the whole thing is it should be all right to say.
It should be all right to say because it's a statement of fact.
Yeah.
All lives do matter, but when you say it, and I get it, when you say it in response to Black Lives Matter, and I think, I forget who it was that had this response to it. It's like, let's imagine you're making love to your girlfriend, and you're saying like, "Hey, how do you like this dick?" And your girlfriend's like, "I like all dicks."
That's when you fuck her a little harder.
It's not quite a one-to-one comparison, but I get it. It's like
apples
saying
and oranges,
right. You're not acknowledging the fact that Black lives do matter. We can't just be like letting people kneel on somebody's neck for 9 minutes.
Right.
Like that is unacceptable.
It's got to stop.
And maybe you need to acknowledge that your girlfriend does like all dick.
Yeah, maybe she does.
And let's do some shit with that. You know what I mean?
Like let's have a party.
Let's have a party, exactly.
Let's get
Red Solo Cup. Start calling her Red Solo Cup. Fill her up.
What is it about Red Solo Cup that I don't know? Is that like a code for like gangbang or something? Is this something I don't know about?
No. It's the song, Toby Keith's song.
Oh, I know the song.
Well, then I said she could be like a Red Solo Cup. Just fill her up.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I get it.
Let's have a party.
Okay.
All right.
Let me get my camera and an OnlyFans page.
You know, one thing that drives me crazy with the whole state of the world right now is that everybody wants to say, look at me, look at me, look at me,
Oh,
and they're not actually
Broadcast
looking at the person
interrupted.
Fuck.
across from them.
God, Steve was on a roll too.
You know what I mean?
Why is this happening?
Because everybody gets upset that, like you said, black lives are all
Can you
lives.
restart it?
But anybody can
Yeah,
have
we
its
restarted
point
it.
of view, and by not acknowledging that person's point of view or letting them have that point of view, accusing them of being wrong, isn't that the same thing that you're accusing them of?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just, to me, it makes no sense because it's one person saying one thing, another person contradicting. I mean, it's just a fight, and you're not going to get anywhere until you get to the middle.
Well, you know, I think we're going to have to go through some, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better.
Well, they always said it does, but when is it getting better? You know, I mean, it always gets worse.
I thought for sure on the 4th of July they were going to burn the White House down.
I think the President of the United States made sure that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think he showed enough force that...
I think he showed just enough.
You know, some people will say excessive.
Like
but,
protecting the monuments?
oh, you know, I wish they'd have protected a few more monuments, and I'm not saying either way it goes, but it, like I said, people pick and choose.
Yeah.
You know, our history as the United States is a bloody one, is a bad one. We've ran over a lot of different people over our independence.
And Andrew Jackson was a real son of a bitch.
He could have been.
Oh,
You
he
know,
was?
what about Alexander Hamilton? I'm surprised that Disney's letting that play.
Oh, they pumped the shit out of that.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, at that time in history, there was slavery.
Yeah.
I mean, Alexander Hamilton, was he a slave owner?
I'm not going to ruin the musical for you.
Oh, it tells in the musical? So he must not. I mean, I don't know. I've
Echo.
never seen the musical.
Echo. Did Alexander Hamilton own slaves?
Alexander Hamilton was a brief slaveholder as a child, but only because he inherited his mother's only slave at her death. Records are not certain as to whether Hamilton owned slaves later in life. Hamilton was strongly opposed to slavery, and only supported slavery as part of the Constitution in order to compromise with the southern states.
Kudos to Alexander Hamilton.
No shit. Capricious. Huh?
Apparently, it's a pretty badass musical.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I don't know that I will watch it. Not that I have anything against it, but
I heard a lot of
It's not
good
my
stuff
thing.
when it was on Broadway.
I definitely will. I love musicals.
let's see.
I've heard people just rave about that.
I think we are live again.
Welcome back, Facebook. Sorry if I said something that offended everybody.
Try to.
You got to repost now, Steve.
All right. I don't know.
Let's get it out.
I reformatted my iPhone. It's a brand new install, and now I mean it's doing the same thing. I don't know why it is, but we'll try this thing again, and we will post the whole video on YouTube. So if you miss it, you can catch it in syndication.
And we'll have to put the YouTube channel on the
In the
description
link.
down below. Yeah.
Check the link in the bio down
check the
below.
link.
Drop a comment down below. Okay, in the bio. Whatever.
Drop that comment down below in the bio.
All right, so this is Long Beach, and apparently some
LBC?
no, BBC, Drake people. A bunch of Antifa rolled into Long Beach, and the Crips kicked them the fuck out. And I love this kind of shit, right? Because you got all these like young people that think they're changing the world, and they find out like, oh, you ain't changing shit.
And for all you people that haven't seen Boys in the Hood, the Crips are wearing the blue. Is that right?
Is it right?
This guy's not good.
It's Long Beach. You from Long Beach, brother? You from Long Beach? Homie, get your fucking ass out of here.
Dude, one Crip on it like a dozen young Antifas.
Yeah, get your bitch ass out of here. Get your ass out.
You hear him say, "Thank you, sir."
Over here.
It's coming up.
Get your motherfucking ass knocked out. Get your punk asses on. Look at this Long Beach. Thank you, sir. Say something. Say something.
Thank you.
Get your...
I love that kind of shit because that's like the real hood, right?
Right.
Like,
If it's my will against yours, you're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose. We're out here changing the world. Get the fuck out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm out.
Peace out.
Say something.
Thank
you.
Say something bad about my mom. Andrew's a bitch.
Not my dog. A couple times, it'll slide.
I feel like we were on a roll before we got interrupted, and I think that's
Steve was talking about some stuff.
That's okay. We can still fly.
Yeah,
I mean,
we try to redo it. It seems kind of disingenuous, right?
Yeah. I do think that, and like I said, we are going to repost, but with the video that we just watched, like you, I love that these are our streets. You're not going to come here messing up our stuff. Of course, what is the repercussions? I mean, what is the alternative?
Well, I mean, I'm sure the Crips do a lot of shit that is probably not necessarily on the up and up,
or maybe have.
But he's like, hey, this is our neighborhood.
Right.
Don't come in our neighborhood and try to act like you're gonna.
You know what? I think it was that man's version of Scared Straight, Crip style. What are you thinking? You're gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And the guy's like, thank you.
Pablo Escobar did a lot of good stuff for his the poor communities, right?
Yeah.
He was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
But
Hitler did a lot of great shit.
Go down there and ask the poor people is it Colombia?
Yeah, Colombia, yeah.
What they think of Pablo Escobar, he's a fucking hero. He's a
Yeah.
fucking hero. He gave us schools, he gave us parks, he gave us recreational stuff,
You know why he did that?
That's
Because
why-
the rats were eating up all his billions of dollars, and it's like he's like, why don't I just build some schools? for
Dude,
my
if you
people?
watch that, what is that show called on HBO or whatever? Narcos. Dude, that's a fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
I knew Pablo Escobar was kind of a fucking gangster. I didn't realize the level.
Right.
He's just hiding millions of dollars in his mom's bed. He didn't have enough places to put the money, right? He was running out of places.
Dude, they did that in Blow too. Remember? It's like, how much was this? And that was $10 million. And he's like, how much does it weigh? And that's how they're trying to count the money.
That's how they.
But dude, the guy that played Pablo Escobar in that, I believe he's actually Australian. Fucking nailed it. Do you know what I'm saying?
And
I'm pretty sure that guy's not Australian.
Mindy Sue. God, I wish Mindy Sue was here to.
She's watching.
Track that down.
She's watching.
Okay, the guy that played Pablo Escobar in Blow.
Oh, in Blow.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in Narcos.
No, in Blow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about that.
But he nails the Cuban, or not Cuban, but the.
Well, if you watch Narcos, in the first 4 or 5 episodes, the guy that's playing Pablo Escobar doesn't have a very good accent.
Yeah.
But by the end of the first season, he's got it
know
nailed.
what I mean, man?
He's got it nailed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the new Tom Cruise, I say new, recent Tom Cruise movie where he played the pilot that was actually hired by the CIA to fly money, down south of the border and so forth.
Yeah. What was that guy's name?
I can't remember his name.
That's a
off
real
the top of
character,
my
though,
head.
right?
It was a
No,
real character.
you're not talking
It was a
about
real
the guy,
story.
the pilot that crashed or that landed the plane in the Hudson, because that's a whole nother movie too. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
What is that called?
What is what called?
Tom Hanks played the movie where he landed the plane in the Hudson River and saved 259 people on his plane.
We're just gonna shift directions just like that.
I thought that's what you were talking about. It's another Tom Hanks movie where he's a pilot. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. When I think Tom Hanks and pilot, I think of.
Were we talking about Tom Hanks?
I thought we were talking about Tom Cruise. Tom Hanks.
No, fuck it.
Let's
I
just
really
talk about the
fucked it up
Toms.
The Toms.
Toms that fly planes.
Uncle Tom.
Really, it's the Toms. I was just getting ready to say it's the Toms that fucked it up for all of us.
My favorite Tom right now is Tom Segura.
Tom.
I think
He didn't
it's-
fuck it up.
I think it's the Daves that are fucking everything up.
Tom Brady.
He's not a Patriot anymore.
No. I think he'll always be a Patriot.
Cam Newton's a Patriot.
I think that's a good,
He's voting for Biden.
good pickup for them.
I want to see what happens.
I think they'll be all right. I
Bill
think Tampa
Belichick
will
and
be all
Cam
right.
Newton, as a force, I think they can help each other out.
So, what do you think about the 60-game baseball season?
Let's do it.
Seriously,
Let's
you
do
ready
it.
for it?
I mean, yeah, I'm ready for baseball. I know there's teams are already having some players testing positive for COVID, so I'm not too convinced that that's even going to happen.
Yeah, and then because what happens after that is a 2-week quarantine.
Right.
So
Well, you know what?
Broadcast interrupted again.
Some professional sports teams are putting sex dolls in the audience so they can feel like they're playing for
That was
somebody.
in Korea, yeah.
And the greatest thing about that is after you're done with the game, you can go fuck anyone you want.
Fuck your fans.
Yeah.
I know they're like
It's like the
serious
NBA.
movies.
Yeah.
Like serious movies, exactly. Just like the NBA.
Yeah.
See, that's solid gold right there.
Yeah.
Bam!
I mean,
that was brilliant.
You know, like those guys get like I can pretty much fuck any of these girls here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like a section.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like rock stars. You know, they got a person that's they hired just they go that one.
Right.
And they just go to hang out.
Dude, you know who gets laid more than anybody though is fucking soccer players in like Brazil. Dude, that sport is so huge. You know how many girls would slide bare ass across broken beer bottles just to suck one of their heroes' dicks?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, like NBA stars, giant athletic human beings with fucking monster cocks. I mean, I'm thinking, I've never seen one, but I'm thinking they've all got probably...
Have you ever seen Dennis Rodman in spandex?
Just the poster on your wall.
It's like watching what was that? Spinal Tap.
I'm sure Dennis Rodman's got a fucking hog.
We've got armadillos in our trousers. You know what I'm saying?
Madonna thinks so.
Yeah, she hooked up with him just for the BBC.
Yeah.
Drink.
The documentary, The Last Dance.
That was very good.
They were Carmen Electra.
Uh-huh.
She took that hog.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was man, I was watching that again and like, you know, they go back and they were showing like her in Vegas and all that, like, dude, she was so fucking hot back then.
She's still smoking.
Still
Smoking.
Remember when Tommy Lee's wife was the most beautiful girl on this earth for like 10 minutes?
Which one?
Pamela Anderson, yeah.
She's still pretty.
She didn't quite age as well.
I think she got some bad plastic surgery.
I think that as well, plus some probably anorexic issues, losing weight and stuff
Trying
like
to
that.
stay perfect.
You know, when she was filming Barbed Wire, she was 7 months pregnant.
No shit.
And her stomach is still like
tight
this.
booty.
Yeah, well they had her in a corset for that movie Barbed Wire. You know.
That's why her fucking son's got Alzheimer's, fucking 8 years old.
I hope not. We wish the best to Pamela Anderson. I hope to have her on the podcast.
Your child, yeah.
Pamela Anderson Lee. We would take her on the podcast anytime. She could have this seat right here.
Wayne Brady's going to be on next week. It's not 100% yet, but...
He's in the waiting room right now.
Yeah, he's waiting to exhale. I heard.
I'm going to bump him for Steve.
Damn straight.
All right, so I've got some more videos if you guys want to do that.
Let's jump into
Have
it.
some fun.
Remember how shitty, well, I mean, looking back, how shitty television was in our childhood? Like, Magnum P.I. was like one of the biggest shows, right?
It was a shit.
Just watch how stupid this scene is.
No,
this
I think more importantly, watch the cinematography and how real it looks, you know?
Yeah, it looks real.
The communist nations come to kill you.
You can't really hear it because it's recording on recording, but...
You guys can do voiceovers on it.
Merlin, attack!
He's gotten all bloody from this parrot attack.
I love how Higgins speaks parrot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's good quality TV right there.
That is awesome. 18.
18, yeah.
Used to be great. You know, I really loved TV shows back then, like Emergency, SWAT, Beretta.
Remember?
Dude,
I love some.
hook up a digital antenna to your television. You can pick up a lot of old great shows that you wouldn't even think of, like the Carol Burnett variety show.
That was a good show.
Longmire. You ever watch that?
No.
Gunsmoke, Bonanza. And anybody that has their antenna hooked up to the TV knows what I'm talking about. And it cuts up.
I've got an antenna right in there. I know, but it gets 3 channels.
Right. 47.7.
And they're all from Australia.
47.11.
What about New Zealand having 0 positive tests for COVID right now?
No shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. They did it.
That's the
They
place
did
to
it.
move.
You know, we didn't do it. Especially the southern states. Arizona is fucked right now.
You know, New
Texas
Zealand
is
seems
fucked right now.
New Zealand seems very progressive. I think they were the first one to allow women to vote. You ever heard that?
I have not heard that.
Echo. What country was the first to allow women to vote?
The first country where women could vote was New Zealand in 1893.
Nailed it.
Australia was the second in 1902.
What'd they say, 1793?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what is really remarkable about that is that those were both founded prison colonies, right? Leper colonies.
New Zealand, I'm not sure. I'd have to do
Yeah.
more research on that. But they seem very progressive, like with the way they seem pretty liberal, and the way they run their judicial system and the way they produce their energy is very thoughtful, so to speak, I guess. They have a lot of windmills and a lot of water-powered generators.
They have to, yeah. They have to. Because they're on the bottom of the freaking earth.
A lot of geothermal.
You know, there's this rivalry between New Zealand and Australia. Like, they hate each other.
They
Really?
absolutely do.
Yeah.
What are their slangs for one another?
I don't know. But have you ever watched the show, the Fabulous, what is it, the Thunderbirds?
Oh, Flight of the Conchord.
Flight of the Conchords, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I love it.
Pretty fucking funny, huh?
It's one of my favorite shows.
There's one episode where, because they're from New Zealand, right? I think, right? They're from New Zealand, but he hooks up with this chick from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And I guess it
Rome
really,
is the country of New Zealand.
kind of is real. Like, I guess Australia and New Zealand consider themselves kind of rivals.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
You think it's like United States and Canada?
Are we?
Do we hate
have any
Canada?
rivals? Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like there's some unspoken animosity between our two countries.
I think like
Not
the
so
South
much. I wouldn't say not so much today, but maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago, or especially around 1812, there would have been a huge conflict between us.
I've
Canada
never felt
was
any
so
animus
cold.
between Canadians.
Yeah.
I love Canadians.
It was called the War of
Take off, eh?
1812.
Huh?
It was called the War of 1812, and this was still when Canada was still a British colony, and that's when they came down and burned the White House down. If I got my history correct.
Yeah, you said like 10 or 20 years ago, though.
No, I was talking about there was still animosity up till 10 or 20 years ago, but definitely the War of 1812, which was just a biscuit ago.
Yeah.
And Canada was still a British colony. They came in
That was
with
like 200.
they came in and fought with a group of
8 years ago.
Blackfoot and I think Blackfoot Indians, and came down and fucking burned our White House down.
The White House definitely burned down.
Like fuck you for 1776.
Damn straight.
Yeah. I'd like to see some Canadians come and try to burn the White House down now.
But you know what? They never could have done it without the natives of the land.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating. That's fascinating history. You know who doesn't get enough credit, I think, for being
Me!
the Evel Knievel of our day?
Oh.
Who's that?
Travis Pastrana. And maybe it's just because I'm of the older generation. He doesn't come up in like everyday conversation, lexicon.
Not only is he the Evel Knievel of our day, he's done a lot of evil stunts.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Jump into Grand Canyon and all this
And
shit.
his last name sounds like a dish at fucking Olive Garden.
I would order it.
Yeah,
I'll take the
me
Pastrana for sure. Yeah, hook me up with some of
Well,
that
Well, I
Pastrana.
might take it home. You know, that's not something you want to eat.
I don't even know what it is. I'm like, yeah, I'll take the
Three
Pastrana.
Pastranas. Orange whip. Orange whip.
Um,
3 orange whips.
Swiss cheese on my pastrana, please.
Everybody throw
if
some
you
of that
just-
on mine, too.
If you just watch this stunt, it's fucking amazing because he's going from rooftop to rooftop, and if he misses, I think he's like probably 8 or 10 stories up. But if he misses, it doesn't matter. He could be 1 story up. He's gonna be dead, right?
You might survive
Or
one
serious
story.
injury, yeah.
No, he'll be dead.
No, not 1 story. 'Cause I've seen a lot of idiots jump motorbikes off of 1-story houses, and they always live.
He said 8 stories.
If you hit the pavement from 1 story up,
There's grass down there.
He's jumping.
No, there's
he's,
bushes. There's
he's
bushes.
He's jumping another 60, 70 feet in the air.
Yeah, this guy's yeah.
All right, here we go. Travis Pastrana, ladies and gentlemen. He's dead. Good call.
You know, it looks like he had about 20 feet to get where he needed to be. So he really cranked it on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, keep doing your trick. And I pulled it a little tight, and then I spun too fast, and I was coming up short. That is such a lame knack, but I'm way too scared to do that again.
That says something right there.
Yeah.
Okay,
That he's
I
too
landed
scared
here.
to do it.
Death is here.
That's less than
All right.
And he was explaining how close he was, you know.
He was on, Travis Pastrana was on the, oh shit, I just told him. Close the window, I didn't want to close. Travis Pastrana was on the Adam Carolla podcast, and not only is he a stunt guy, but he's actually pretty fucking entertaining, like off the cuff too. Like
He's funny?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
And he's had several brutal injuries as well.
Has he?
Yeah.
See, I don't really follow him.
I've never heard of Travis Pastrana until MJ brought him up to me.
Like Nitro Circus, I think is his show.
Nitro Circus, yeah. They had a stunt team. Yeah, he's jumped the fountain in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
That
he did that with the
original,
Harley.
right?
Yeah.
Dude, wasn't a publicity stunt when Evil Knievel tried to jump like Snake Canyon or something?
Yeah.
He was like on a rocket
Snake
or
River
something
Canyon.
stupid.
Yeah.
That was just a gimmick, right? Because it ends up like coming down a parachute or something.
Well, it wasn't a gimmick. It was just a stunt went wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be
Hey,
honest.
MJ, explain this.
I feel like Evil Knievel though, like a lot of his stunts didn't end well.
No.
Right?
No,
Like,
I think they said he literally broke every bone in his body.
and if you go back and watch it, like his ramps, like when Travis Pastrana does it, his ramps are built by him, right? He builds his own stuff, and he makes
Right.
sure that everything's perfect, and he knows the science, and he knows the math, and he knows like this, how many rotations, and he leaves nothing to chance, right?
Yeah.
It's all calculated.
Right.
I feel like Evil Knievel's like, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
You're like, hand me my helmet.
Pastrana's ramps were built from a graduate of MIT, and Evil Knievel's ramps were built from some guy named Mitt Romney.
Right. And to be fair, Evil Knievel was doing all of his shit with like, there wasn't all the technology, like an old Indian motorcycle or whatever the fuck it was.
Right.
But he didn't have all the technology and shit.
Yeah, he was a pioneer.
Yeah.
And this guy's more probably into physics and like geometry and symmetry. And,
He's more of a professional.
yeah. You can watch YouTube.
All right. So did you hear Los Angeles was told no fireworks?
No fireworks this year,
And
everybody.
How do you think that went?
Well, I know LA. People that live in LA are law-abiding citizens, and they're not gonna. They don't want to stir the pot.
This was the scene of
I mean, we might
the
see
Los
a couple.
Angeles skyline on the
Yeah.
4th of July, Saturday night. So
Yeah, you might see a couple here and there, but I don't think people are gonna break the rules.
Look at that shit.
That's hysterical.
Somebody was on top of it in a helicopter, and it's like, I bet when it gets, because you can see you can still see the starlight back there. It's like, this is right when it got dark out.
Now that I'm watching this, I wonder if some of these are superimposed in there.
I don't think so. It was like this right when it got dark out here. I told you, I was like, come on here and look at this.
Yeah, I think the fireworks industry took a huge hit. So I think everybody and their cousin got half sticks of dynamite, Hugo boomers. You know what I mean?
I bet they all ordered from Old Glory Fireworks like we used to do. Remember?
Officer, I'm glad you're here. They got a huge box of fireworks upstairs. Oh shit!
And we came down with like a little shoebox.
Well, like 3 things.
You know what we did give up though that we all agreed on?
Snakes.
We gave up a brick. An entire brick.
Right. We couldn't make it 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah, because she said this huge.
Right.
It was one of our smallest bricks.
We had to make a sacrifice.
Yeah. It wasn't black cat, it was like lady class, the little red ones. Remember those?
I still love the fact that Austin just shot him like 3 times.
So let's set the stage is that we're in the backyard with Roman candles and like hold them and like shoot them at each other. Shoot them at each other, right? What the fuck was wrong with us?
Ours ran out first, and then Austin had the last one, so he had us pinned. And we're like, Austin, cop. He didn't believe. So he turned with the Roman candle
I
and
think I
shot
thought I
the
was
cop
out too.
right
I think I thought I was out because you guys are both out.
It went thoof, thoof, thoof. Then he had to put it out in the ground.
In the ground and it started coming out the other way.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
I remember.
If we get a time machine, we'll go by it as a Moon Club podcast and check on that night for sure. You know what I'm
That was
saying?
hilarious. That was some good times.
That was some good times. All right, I think we get it. Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley was told no fireworks, and the people of Los Angeles were like, "Fuck you!"
Dude, you know what?
It's 4th of
it almost
July.
seemed like that was a stress ball. Like it sounded like fucking war, but it wasn't. It doesn't represent war anymore. But when I was outside on 4th of July, it sounded like
Fireworks represent the end of war. That's what the fireworks are supposed to be.
no, it represents people shooting at one another and fucking all shit.
I don't think you understand
popping
what
off.
Independence Day means. That was our independence.
Have you ever served in a forward position?
Yeah. I sure have. Have you?
Yes.
I've been mounted.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you ever had your back taken?
Yeah.
You know, because I know deep down in your heart you brought me on that wall. You remember that?
Should be on
Yeah.
the wall.
What movie was that? No.
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Bam. Jack Nicholson.
He incriminated himself.
Places you don't want to talk about. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did.
I did order a code red actually.
I moved to, and Tom Cruise is like, I moved to dismiss. Great movie. You know, that's
another good Tom Hanks movie. Another great Tom
another great Tom Hanks movie.
My favorite Tom Hanks movie.
Dude, isn't that Carl Reiner?
Who?
That directed that movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Echo. Who directed the movie A Few Good Men?
A Few Good Men was directed by Rob Reiner.
Nope, it was Rob Reiner.
Yep, it was Rob Reiner.
So there's this Instagram account called Street People of Los Angeles, and this actually went out on the air live, and somebody actually recorded it, and she's sitting here talking with her mask on, and if you look behind her, this girl just drops her pants and starts shitting in the street. I swear to God.
Yeah.
You don't get to see much of it, but you can tell what's happening.
Thank goodness.
End of July, they could have completely filled ICU beds, no more beds available for people in the ICU if the rate keeps continuing.
So this guy watching live TV saw it with his phone, probably rewound it in like 30 seconds and started recording.
Yeah, that's about all you get to see, but it definitely happened.
This guy's like,
Is that like a
holy
critic?
shit.
Like a literal critic? Like this is what I think of what you're saying.
And dude, you know what?
Maybe.
Why is the girl doing the news with the mask on her? Oh, is she out? Is she in the field?
Yeah, she's in the
Okay.
She's definitely in the field.
Okay. I wonder if she's
She's
got a
in front of a blue
microphone,
screen?
like a little
A green
microphone
screen?
underneath the mask.
And that's what they're playing on the green screen is
Yeah.
people crabbing.
Yeah, that would be great. If that's what happened, that would even be better, actually.
Right?
Dude, check this
Like
out.
some dude got fired and he was supposed to work the green screen. Oh,
This.
Yeah. Remember the girl that went into, I think, is it Tim Hortons? And she wanted to use the restroom, and they said no.
Oh, so she
and
shit
she
right
like
there?
she like dropped her pants and shit, and then picked it up and threw it at him.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
it was like, hold on, let's find this.
Dude, you
because
know what?
It's actually pretty impressive how quick she was able to shit and then throw.
Dude, if you want to change
Is
corporate
it Tim
policy,
Hortons?
it is Tim Hortons. Dude, if you want to change corporate policy, sometimes you gotta take drastic steps.
that's the way they do it. That just shows that we're all evolved.
Dude, I bet the CEO of Tim Hortons was like, hey, if anybody wants to come and use the bathroom from now on, don't tell them they need to buy Coke.
Is there a bathroom here I can use?
Actually, it's out of order. I'm sorry.
Sorry to be pushy, but this is kind of an emergency.
I mean, there's a place a couple blocks away that they can
A couple blocks?
I really gotta go now.
I mean, if it's a real emergency, we've actually been letting people shit on the floor.
Oh, really? Right over here?
So this is doubled over. This isn't really the conversation.
It's coming. I gotta pick somewhere fast.
I was getting ready
Dude,
to
this is an
say.
idea I have
Take
for
the
us.
things you need.
Oh, thank you. You know, a lot of places don't offer this kind of service.
Yeah, I'm glad we can help.
Oh, dude, that's brilliant.
How about we go back to there?
Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you can't do it back behind
Dude,
the
this is
counter.
genius.
In the general seating area, it's great.
Sounds good to me.
Right over there is great, for example.
All right. Would you mind if I just put this here?
Yeah, make yourself comfortable.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I got to grab my phone. Hello, Tim Hortons.
I could grab my phone.
Thank you. Oh.
Yeah, maple donuts are 50%
Oh, shit.
Relief.
Oh my
Buy two,
god.
you get one free also. Yeah.
He's so
Thank you so much for
nonchalant.
calling Tim Hortons.
This is slowed down.
Just
This is
just
brilliant.
toss it over.
Cat. Oh, you're so good.
Oh,
Just
shit.
up here.
That
Make
is
sure
like
you get
one
in
of
there.
the nastiest things. What would you do if you're like, oh,
Here-
that's the
here's
girl
the
I'm
actual
fucking
video.
dating?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I think that was fucking genius.
Yeah.
We should do
Whoever
one of
does
those a
that over
week.
did it
Dude,
well.
we should do one voiceover a week where we all agree on a video and then we each agree who to play, what character to play.
You should set it up.
Okay, well,
Maybe this one is sped up.
I think that is sped up.
It's time lapse.
Dude, because that was, I think, the most amusing moment of my day is when he's like, just throw it over.
Just toss it over.
Oh, and he goes, yeah, what was he saying we got on sale?
Caramel
We got
donuts.
caramel donut, or get one free. Just throw it over.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Just able to like drop it and then throw it. You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Stop, drop, and roll, dick, roll.
There was a one-handed pitcher, right? Who would like pitch and then like switched the glove like after he like you know what I'm
Didn't
talking
he have
about?
the baby on?
Yeah.
He's from Peoria, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that guy's famous. It's like
He's from Peoria.
After he would pitch, he would just throw the glove and he would just land it on his hand and catch, and then he'd switch over and fucking, dude. Yeah, you know, sometimes when you're limited severely, that's when you perform your best.
Jim something.
Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott from Peoria.
He took Lieber to a full count in the second inning before going down on the strikeout.
Definitely wasn't it.
Sometimes you can use your weaknesses to your advantages.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
That's Taoism. Talks about water, how it flows.
Yeah.
Be water.
Wayne Dyer.
Check this out. The NYPD now blames reforms for increase in violent crime. So this is the top cop NYPD officials are largely blaming criminal justice reforms, coronavirus mitigation measures, and anti-police rhetoric for an increase in shootings and a July 4th weekend that was marred by gun violence and 11 murders across the city. Quote, there is a multitude of reasons why shootings have increased in New York City. Chief of Crime Control Strategies Michael LaPetrie told reporters at a press conference on Monday afternoon, quote, we have the knowledge to stop shootings. It's unfortunate that most of our powers were taken away to stop shootings. Knowledge is power. Well, we have the knowledge, we don't have the power. Yet the NYPD did not elaborate on what crime-fighting powers they have lost, nor did they say if recording high unemployment, lost wages, and school cancellations due to the pandemic that has killed more than 24,000 New Yorkers and sickened countless others. Here's the thing. So the top cop is saying that...
Hey, can I translate?
Mostly because I guess you're not able to put people in chokeholds. That's why...
No, this is a translation. I told you!
Yeah. Okay.
3 words. I mean, that's basically what he's saying, right? It's like, you want to decrease the police? It's like, we're going to have some violent crimes. There's people bad out there, and
crime's definitely going to go
take
up.
advantage of the situation.
And I've said, and I maintain this, and I know it's not a popular view, and it's probably going to get me in trouble, but the police need to be able to choke people, because if you're in a fight to the death with another person of similar size and similar physical attributes, the one that's not able to do chokeholds is going to lose nearly 100% of the time.
Right. What about George Floyd?
He lost. He wasn't in a chokehold, so I'm not sure like what the one-to-one comparison is there.
Right. Well, you just want to be able to choke people.
No, I'm saying if you're in a fight to the death with a person of similar size and physical attributes, the person that's not going to be able to do chokeholds is going to lose nearly 100%.
How about we use our legs and hold them like that?
Huh?
If we don't choke their necks.
I'm talking about chokeholds.
Like make them pass out?
Okay.
You can do a triangle choke with your leg as well.
Yeah, there might be a good reason that the police would have to choke somebody. And I'm not talking about George Floyd. That was ridiculous.
So you think Ronda Rousey should be teaching some police how to fucking do some arm bars?
I think Jocko Willink should be able to train police officers.
I think that's what it comes down
the key.
to. Yeah, that's
it
what
comes
it
down
really
to
comes
training.
down to.
Yeah.
And it's
we need to put more money in training and less money
defunding the
into
police as more as it is reallocating funds.
Right. And
yeah, for
the
sure.
amount of training that our police do get is ridiculous. It's minimal.
Yeah.
Now,
especially once they get on the force.
Let's talk about defunding the government.
Yeah, you know what?
And
Good luck.
I'm talking about all the pensions, all the freaking...
What about the black ops? You want to talk about those?
We're talking about the white cops and the black cops.
The black ops. The black operations.
Hudson ain't listening, is he?
No, he's never listening. I'll go one step further, Steve, though. Not only should we defund the government, we should tear it down, because right now we're in another position where we get to choose between Trump and Biden. Last time it was Trump and Hillary. The system is broken.
Right.
We don't get the candidates that we want.
Which rich white millionaire do I choose?
Let's fucking tear it down. Let's start over.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm on board.
Well, it's still insane to me to believe that people think that the president has power more than a figurehead.
He is the most powerful man in the world.
He has a right to an opinion, and sometimes his opinion can trump other people's opinions.
I don't think you realize how powerful the president really is.
I don't think you realize
he's the number one influencer in our government.
Ask John Kennedy how
Dude, he's like
powerful the
Kylie Jenner.
is.
He's like Kylie Jenner is the Twitter. He's the #1 influencer in our judicial system and in our government. Not our
I think you're
judicial system.
mistaken. Yeah, I think Austin's misspoken.
Dude, are you trying to tell me that Kylie Jenner is just a fucking figurehead?
I didn't think we were talking about Kylie Jenner.
I'm talking about what Kylie Jenner is to Twitter is tantamount to what Donald Trump is to our government. He's like our #1 influencer. He can veto votes.
He can veto something. But at the same time, it don't bode well for him to veto votes. It's politics. And it really comes down to, he did say that with this last bill that if they're going to rename these forts, from the Confederate generals, that if they're going to rename those, that he's not going to sign off on this bill. And they already threw back at him, well, if you don't sign this bill, then so many people don't get paid. So we'll see how much power he's got. If he signs the bill, then he's got all the power. If he doesn't sign the bill, he's got all the power. If he does sign the bill, then that people are influencing him.
He's got a thick head. He doesn't cave in very easily, and he usually gets what he wants. Right? Yeah. He's good at however he does it. He's good at getting what he wants.
Have you guys heard that Redskins are changing their name?
Yeah.
But he's also one of the presidents that has.
He's a gangster.
And that's one of the reasons why politicians don't like him as much as well either, because he's not playing necessarily by their rules. But you think Barack Obama had, control of everything? You think George Bush had control of everything?
Dude, you know what Barack Obama's advice was?
Nope.
You know what
Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter,
Gerald Ford.
Dude, Barack Obama's advice on Twitter last week was, real gangsters don't have to flex nuts, because real gangsters know that we got them. Hashtag Donald Trump.
There you go.
Was that Trump or Biden?
No, that was Obama. That was Obama's advice to Donald Trump.
Okay. Have you seen the cat that people are saying is like Joe Biden?
Yeah, it looks just like him.
Little hairless cat that's massaging this other cat. It says like creepy Joe Biden.
So you want to find it?
I'm sure you can.
Just like,
Joe Biden cat.
Like 2 billion views or something.
I do not want Joe Biden as our president, but I don't have anything against him as a person.
Well, you know what? It's like he seems corrupt to me. It seems like just another.
Sounds like politics.
Joe Biden cat didn't get it.
It did not get it.
What? Maybe I can just try like Google search instead of YouTube.
Joe Biden as cat. Looks like him.
No, I think this is
That does look
Wasn't
like
there a video of him in a rally rubbing his wife's shoulders?
I don't think it was
some
his
young
wife.
girl or something.
Yeah, I think, and that's what they compared it to.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Like, there's definitely a lot of video footage of him doing like weird. Just I don't even know if it's sexual. It's just weird.
Well, I was gonna say, I think we're judging it now. 20 years ago, the shit slides, right? Yeah. 30 years ago,
yeah.
40.
What was is it George Herbert Walker Bush that did a wheelchair that grabs that girl's ass?
Forget that. We are judging shit now that happened a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Like Jimmy Kimmel doing
the blackface.
Karl Malone.
Yeah.
People are trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel for that now, right?
Right.
Like, and
even
if we admit today that wouldn't stand, you can't go back and cancel Jimmy Kimmel for doing it 12, 15 years ago.
Right.
Because at the time, that wasn't considered bad. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up losing the best late night talk show host that we have, because he's not going to want to come back if he has to face all this shit.
Right.
And fuck all these woke people that want to be part of cancel culture. Just because you can play that I got you game, Jimmy Kimmel's he's not a racist. I'm sorry, he's just not.
Didn't Chappelle say that in his last skit? Wasn't that one of his
Are you talking about the 848 or whatever it was?
No, when he was, impersonations.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so he kind of said that about, that's you people, anything I've done in the past, point the finger at. And, one thing that is also really interesting about this whole situation is, and we talked about it on the podcast before, it's controversial, but it's comedy.
Right.
And the one thing about it is it does push the envelope and it gets you talking about the issue.
Right.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, is he racist? Did you perceive it as racist? No.
Well,
was Karl Malone offended? Maybe. But that's Karl Malone.
I mean, he might not have liked it. I don't think he was offended.
But that's
Two things about that is that there is a, in legal terms, you can't make a law and retroactively prosecute somebody for it. It's called an ex post facto law. It means it becomes law after the fact.
Yeah.
That's the same thing they're doing. Like, hey, you had, and the second thing is people call it blackface. It's not blackface. He's playing a character, right?
Well, it's blackface.
It's not. It's not. If you look at what blackface is,
playing another man.
Let me give you
okay,
guys
but here's the
a
thing.
good example.
If I want to go as Mr. T for Halloween, I've got to put on black makeup, right? I'm not doing blackface.
Okay,
Blackface was something else. He's playing a character. Same thing with Jimmy Fallon doing Chris Rock on SNL 20 years ago, and people want to cancel him for that.
Right.
We're going too far with this cancel culture bullshit, and it's just these people, these young woke people, that want to play this I got you game because they can.
Okay, now let me give you a good example. I think you'll like this. I was at some lady's house within the past 2 weeks, and I was doing some yard work for her, and she had one of those lawn jockeys which had the actual black face with red lips, and he's holding a lantern out like this, and I'm like, I was like, I can't believe you have this back here. You better put Black Lives Matter on the bottom of it or somebody's going to smash it. And she goes, you know what, Austin? I found out recently that this is actually, the black lawn jockey is something that the Underground Railroad would use to let them know that it's a friendly place. They would have the lawn jockey and they would have it pointed towards their door just so people knew that they could come through their house and they can get fed and they can get clothes if they need it and they can get some rest before they travel on. Because these people are walking
know what that sounds like to me?
Sometimes hundreds and
that
hundreds.
Sounds like an old racist white woman trying to justify her having a lawn jockey.
You know what? I never Googled it, but she seems like a nice lady to me, and I believed it.
I suspect it's bullshit.
Echo, what is the history of the lawn jockey?
Here's what I found on Lawn Jockey's Wikipedia page. Charles L. Bloxham, Curator Emeritus of the Afro-American Collection at Temple University in Philadelphia and author of Hippocrene Guide to the Underground Railroad, claims the figures were used in the days of the Underground Railroad to guide escaping slaves to freedom.
Okay, well maybe it wasn't
tied
complete
to the arms
bullshit.
of the statue to indicate safety.
I'm surprised that you were able to come up with that just by asking her that. And I was like, oh, there's no way she's still going.
She's still going. See the statue.
It sounds like maybe the woman's house that he went over to might have actually been Echo.
Yeah.
So we have thought that he's had a relationship with her before.
You know what? She's probably old now. Maybe she was around during the Underground Railroad days.
Who?
The woman who had the lawn jockey.
No, she's a youngin.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's only like 75.
Oh, nice.
A spry 75.
Well, dude,
a biddy.
How much older is that?
Didn't look a day over 80.
Biddy.
She's a beauty.
But yeah, that was very interesting. And the Underground Railroad, that's something that should not be forgiven. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like somebody
not forgotten.
I thought you said it should not be forgiven. I'm like, oh, what's this?
Dude, can you imagine grabbing?
I am not going to forgive the Underground Railroad.
Can you imagine as a husband?
They should have called it a subway.
Yeah. Can you imagine as a husband grabbing your wife?
COVID.
Grabbing your wife and like 3 or 4 kids in the middle of the night and fucking just hightailing it. Because that's how it had to be.
Wow, you're such a brave human being.
Well, no, I think it was probably the scariest thing they ever did. But you know what they were running? They were running for their freedom.
I'm so inspired right now.
The lawn jockeys inspire you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get one now.
I like yard gnomes.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah.
I'm big on yard gnomes, and I did see one the other day that was actually flashing. Although he had boxers on it, I thought that was kind of appropriate to put outside my house. That's what I like to do.
I like the Mucinex creatures.
Yeah.
You know who I really miss is those
Burt Reynolds?
No, those
Patrick Swayze.
Tub bubbles that would like run around and clean the tub. Remember those guys?
Oh, the scrubbing bubbles?
Yeah.
Bubbles. Dude, you know what? I was filling up a mop bucket one day and the
you
guy's
know what else I miss? Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
Oh, are they
be careful. Be careful. Dude, I was
she's still.
I was filling up a mop bucket at Lagavilla and like putting the scalding hot water in there. The guy's like, oh no.
What's your stance on Uncle Ben?
1 second. And I was putting the hot water in there.
The converted rice.
Yeah.
It's not like regular rice. It's like converted rice, which is a lot more palatable.
But it's
especially
not
for like
healthy.
ketones.
Okay, hold on 1 second before.
But it is.
Hold on a second before we destroy your chance of becoming
It depends on what you want to
president.
do.
Echo.
It's got a lot less carbs.
Echo. What is the reference Uncle Ben?
Here's something I found from the article Uncle Ben on Wikipedia. Franklin Richards of the Fantastic Four often refers to Benjamin Grimm, the Thing, as Uncle Ben.
No, that's
Thing.
not. That's not. And Uncle Ben is a white guy. That's it's Samuel L. Jackson's character in.
No, I'm talking about Uncle Ben's like converted rice.
So Samuel L. Jackson played a white guy?
No, he played a black man that was subservient to a white man, Mr. Candy and Django. It's like actually when they shot when that guy comes out and he shoots Leonardo da Vinci, DiCaprio, and it's like Samuel Jackson goes no, you know.
Yeah. I love Samuel L. Jackson's beer.
That was a great character for him to play.
My favorite part of that was when
Hey, Em, you want this?
what is it?
Because I'm gonna put it back in the fridge because I don't want it to explode. Or did you just put it in there in the freezer?
Yeah, just put it in. Give it to me. All right. Well, this podcast was off the rails anyway. It's 6:58.
It's getting there. I thought it was all right. We covered a few bases, and we got interrupted a couple times. But no matter what, we get to the end. That's the most important thing. Getting to the end.
Get to the end. What was I gonna say? The scene in Django where is like coming to a head, right?
Yeah.
And who's the old white guy, the Dennis character? All he has to do is shake Leonardo DiCaprio's hand,
And he's out.
Yeah,
We can't do it.
and he grabs the gun out of the guy's holster and shoots him.
No. He does that, but he also when he goes up to shake his hand, he pulls the gun out like fucking taxi driver.
Right. And then he looks at Django and goes, like, I couldn't do it.
Sorry, now we're all gonna die.
And then and then melee. But that's a great fucking scene, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And did you know that? Check this out. Will Smith was originally chose to play Django, and the one reason that Will Smith chose not to play that role is because he says, I want to shoot him in the end. And Tarantino goes, no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you can't rewrite a Tarantino movie.
Right.
No.
But no, Will Smith was originally supposed to play that role.
That's like, remember when they were interviewing him, Tarantino, about the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that woke, uppity woman was like, why didn't you give Margot Robbie more speaking parts?
He totally cut her off.
He's like, no, you let her finish. He's like, well, I just reject your premise.
He's like, I totally disagree with your premise. Yeah, it's like
I'm not going to defend it. I fucking write the movie.
Right.
It's not like I said, I'm not going to give this woman more.
Not only do I write the movie, I put my name in the freaking title.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of directors or producers, you won't even know who it is. He puts his name up on there.
Moon Club Podcast number 203, YouTube version, which will be the only version that is entirety because my other phone keeps shitting out.
Peace out.
Peace, we're out.
But dude, Tarantino's
iPhone, send us something.
Tarantino's name